Hey everybody, Reed Price here. I play the role of Rob Shandon on Sullivan's Crossing, and you're listening to Corman Productions' Deep Dive TV Podcast with Dave and Stacie.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Dave from the Corman Productions Deep Dive TV Podcast. My co-host Stacie here to talk about Sullivan's Crossing, Season 3, Episode 10, Head to the Heart. This is the season finale of Season 3. The episode's description reads as follows. Cal thinks Maggie misses being a surgeon, while relationship tensions peak during Rob's restaurant opening. The episode was written by Rosanna Roth, John Galligan, and John Gabanowski. The episode was directed by Winifred Jong. And before going further, I'll tell you a couple things. One, this is not a sport-free podcast. If you haven't watched the episode, I highly recommend you go and check it out, and then come back and give us a listen. Secondly, if you're listening on the platforms of this podcast is now available on, please follow. And feel free to check out our YouTube channel, Corman Productions, where additional content can be discovered. If you're already on our YouTube channel, please like, share, and comment, and subscribe to our channel. Shoutouts this week. All right, Sharon Greenman. Sharon Greenman woke up to SC at number 1 on Netflix.
Yes.
She says, it made my day. Figured it would be there, but pleasantly surprised at how soon. I guess my only comment is Edna will be fine as soon as Maggie quits hyperventilating and finishes the job. Overall, a pretty good episode. Skylar Anderson says, not gonna lie, Cal, I feel, was kind of a character sabotaged this season. In the past, Cal was wise, self-confident, and secure with who he was, but in this episode, he followed Maggie around like a puppy. Alright, so I'm gonna say that up until after the whole going to visit his family on the farm thing and patching up with his dad, he had a pretty good arc going. The second half of the season, not so much. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we kind of said that about all of the storylines.
Yeah,
right?
It pretty much went off the rails.
Yeah. I feel like everyone is just kind of running in circles this season.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good description of how Season 3 went. It was a weaker, kind of uneven season compared to the first couple of seasons. But yeah, all right. So Stacie, your thoughts on the season finale?
I think it was a fine episode. I don't know if it holds up to season finale standards necessarily.
Right.
Just as an episode, I think it was fine. We got to finally have the new restaurant. Everybody got to dress up and have a party, and that was all good and fine. But yeah, it didn't really feel like a season finale for me. Yeah.
What I will say is, at least we're not dealing with another Sully health crisis or is Sully dead kind of finale. But the finale you get is silly. I mean, I guess when it comes down to it, this is kind of a soap opera-ish drama series, so it's kind of to be expected. But I literally laughed out loud the first time I saw the ending of the finale.
Yeah.
And it kind of annoys me that, Rafe, Sydney, we don't resolve that in this episode.
Right.
If they're just going to break up, which is what it looks like
they
should
left
do.
it at we'll talk tomorrow.
Right. Next season. Next year, basically.
Next year. And I feel like they're going to have to pick up, like, the same day or the next day with everything they left hanging in this episode. Like, we can't just move forward. We have to, like, be here. Although we thought that at the end of season 2 also.
Right. And 8 months go by and, Rafe and Sydney are broken up. The whole Liam, where's Liam? I don't know. We're just dropping that. And yeah. So, there's just a lot of dangling threads. Rafe and Sydney it was kind of the most annoying because I don't want to pick up with that in season 4. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think it really should have been resolved in this episode. Either
maybe we'll start with their wedding.
Right, yeah.
In the off season, they figured it out, and we're getting married today in episode 1.
I mean, that would track with how this season began. But yeah. All right, so we have anything else to say before diving in?
I do have something to say.
Okay.
I did see CW is now advertising season 4.
Okay.
So we have confirmation that CW is picking up season 4, and it's coming in 2026. They didn't say when, but I'm assuming it'll be similar to this year, where we'll get it on a similar timetable to Canada, hopefully.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And of course, they're also advertising how you can watch the first 3 seasons on the CW app for free. As in, hint, hint, if you don't want to pay for Netflix, you can come watch it here.
Right. Well, I mean, so far you can't see season 3 on Netflix.
That's correct, but it is coming. Season 3 is coming to Netflix in August, so it's not going to be a long wait. I don't know what date, but next month sometime.
Okay. All right, so diving in.
Let's dive in.
The episode begins with Maggie hyperventilating during Edna's surgery. She gets herself together. She repairs the damage and credits. Like, the surgery thing is resolved before the opening credits even ends.
Right. We basically just kind of segue from the last episode, and it was left on a cliffhanger for no reason.
Yeah. Well, once again, the episode was aired in Canada, the CTV, as one entire episode. I mean, I guess it makes for a natural breakup if you're going to break it up into 2 episodes. But yeah, I mean, that was. I mean,
the more natural breakup is she gets through the surgery,
right,
and then we cut.
Yeah.
Also, I would point out that she set a 5-minute timer during this. She had 5 minutes to get whatever the problem was fixed before Edna had a problem, I forget exactly what.
Probably brain damage.
There was a 5-minute timer involved,
yes.
Right? And she was able to, she still had about nearly 3 minutes left when she settled it. So my point is, I did the count to 5 joke last week. I wasn't that far off.
Yeah.
There was a 5 involved.
Yep, you're right. All right. So after the credits, Maggie informs Frank and Sully that she got all of the tumor, but there was a complication. And they're not sure how she's going to end up doing. She's currently unconscious. She has not regained consciousness yet.
Yeah, and they're not going to know until she wakes up if she has any of those side effects that they were worried about.
Right.
Like not remembering who she is or being able to communicate.
So Cal asks Maggie if she's okay. She says she panicked in there. She's worried that she did not do enough. Maggie talks to Dr. Rabney, wondering if she got to the bleed fast enough. Dr. Rabney says she probably just needs more time. Cal tells her she did the best she could. Now the rest is up to Edna.
Yeah, now I want to point out something about Dr. Rabney. Remember, we're not at the Timberlake Hospital now. We're in the Halifax General Hospital. So, is Dr. Rabney the only doctor working at this hospital, too?
That's kind of scary.
Because she got pulled away from this conversation to go deal with medical stuff. Like, she is working here. She's not just here consulting on Edna's case.
Right.
So they're saying she's literally staffing both hospitals, which isn't, I mean, that in and of itself isn't outrageous. Doctors do have associations with more than one hospital sometimes. Yeah. But the fact that, like, she's the only doctor we've seen at either place, and in every scene she's in, it acts like she's running the hospital. So she's running 2 hospitals, this woman.
Wow.
But they don't need any help.
Right, of course not. So, Rob, Sydney, and Jane and Rafe sit around the table looking nervous. Rob is actually involved in what's going on in the rest of the series for the first time in a while.
Yeah. Rob really had a lot to do this season.
Yeah, he did. And that's something we definitely root for. So I'm glad to have seen him in more scenes this season for sure.
I mean, the first couple episodes, he was just in his pajamas eating cereal. But once we got past that, there's been a lot of Rob-heavy story.
Hey, you know what? I would watch Reed Price sit in his pajamas and eat Cheerios all day.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay. So Jane goes to check out Sydney's new design. Rafe talks about the situation with Sydney. He's not sure he can get behind the whole no marriage thing. Rob suggests talking to her about it. Gee, that's a novel concept. And she might change her mind.
Yeah, he said sometimes Sydney just needs a little push to help her change her mind.
Right.
I don't feel like that's the best advice.
I mean,
he was basically like, well, you can manipulate my sister, and get what you want.
I'm not sure that's totally what he meant.
That's how it came out.
Okay.
That's how I heard it as a female.
Okay.
He wasn't talking about, like, compromise and you both need to express what you want and this and that. He was like, you can change your mind.
Right. I mean, maybe he can, but, all right. So, Frank, Cal, Maggie, and Sully are in Edna's room, who is still unconscious. Sully calls her stubborn, and this is what Edna responds to when she regains consciousness. She can see again, and there doesn't seem to be any significant damage.
Yeah, she remembers who she is, she remembers who they are, everything seems fine. Maggie lets out a breath and says Edna's gonna be okay. It's the like, yay, we got through this moment. Nothing is wrong.
Yay! Cal tells Maggie he knew she could do it. Lola gets the update with Jacob. Jacob breaks the bad news about having to go back to school in a couple weeks, and Lola seems to take the news okay.
Well, you could tell she was disappointed.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she wasn't, like, devastated.
Mm-hmm.
She was just like, oh, I thought we fixed that already.
Right.
Now, here's what I would say. Shouldn't Jacob be one of the people at the hospital? He's actually related to Edna.
Yes.
He's family, as opposed to all these other people who are not.
Yes.
Why is he not at the hospital?
I don't know. Dr. Rabney tells Maggie that she did a great job, and she's sorry there's no jobs here available because Dr. Rabney has filled them all, literally by herself. But she says that there's someone in Chicago looking for a neurosurgeon, and Cal overhears this conversation where Maggie basically says, oh, well, I'll think about that.
Yeah, and, are we sure there's not an opening for a neurosurgeon? Because we sure seem to need one when, she called her and said, hey, come help me with Glenn Perry's case because I can't find a neurosurgeon anywhere.
Right, yes.
Are we sure that this region can't use a neurosurgeon?
Or even just a regular doctor?
I mean, we'll get to that later, but in this moment she's saying, hey, there's nothing in neurosurgery.
Right.
It's not because they don't have a need for it. It's just because they don't think they need it. They're not hiring one, but they don't have one.
Yeah, I mean, Dr. Rabney's just running around doing all this stuff. But anyway... So Sully is at the outpost when a mysterious person enters looking to rent a cabin. I forgot to note of who this person is played by, but we actually don't even know who this person is until much, much later in the episode.
Much later. So should we call it now, or should we wait till we see him again?
I mean, I guess we might as well just say the credits now.
Okay, so big spoiler alert!
Yes.
This is Liam.
Yes.
As in Maggie's summer fling that we hinted at way back in episode 3 or 4 when she first told Lola about it, and then we brought him up again. He's the one that wrote the letter Cal's been fawning over. And Liam is now checking in to the crossing. He is played by Marcus Rosner. Marcus was in 2 episodes of Once Upon a Time and a whole bunch of Christmas movies.
Gotcha. And it's interesting to note that Sully doesn't recognize him, so Sully has never met this person.
Sully's never met him. Remember, she was on vacation or
something.
I forget where she was. She was in another country or somewhere. She was traveling when they had this summer fling. They were backpacking together or something. If I recall the story.
Gotcha. So he gets
also, Sully wasn't even in her life anyways.
Oh, that's right.
If anybody would have known him, it would have been her mom, but I don't think she known him either based on the story. But yeah, Sully has never met anybody Maggie dated besides Andrew, right? Because he hasn't seen her since she was 7.
Right. I mean, maybe there was a 6-year-old boyfriend, you never know. But yeah, he gets Helen's old cabin, and Sully tells him about the grand opening at the lodge, and that's a little bit of foreshadowing that we don't know is foreshadowing when we see it.
Yeah, the grand opening at the lodge, which is tonight, which means some time has passed since the surgery, right? At least a couple days.
I guess so.
Because last we heard was Sydney was telling Jane she had just finally settled on design colors.
Right. Sully tries to call Helen but gets a voicemail. He says he wants to wish her safe travels and to give him a call if she has time. Sydney and Rafe talk, and he finally admits his feelings. She says she doesn't need the piece of paper to prove her feelings, but Rafe says that he absolutely does need that because if he doesn't have the piece of paper, he kind of feels like that would just be that she always has a foot out the door. All right, so both of these positions make sense. I don't necessarily agree with how they present it either way.
Right.
But nevertheless, their positions make sense. This is a real relationship issue. It makes sense on both sides. Neither person is a bad person for feeling the way they do. But if they can't meet somewhere in the middle or compromise somehow from this, really one of the other has to bend to the other in order for this relationship to continue.
Right.
If they can't do that, this relationship is over.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, the way that Rafe is explaining his side, though, I don't know, it bugs me. It's not like he's saying, I just really believe in marriage and family values. He's just like, oh, well, it'll be harder for you to leave me if we're married. And I get the sentiment, but it just sounds really toxic, the way he's explaining it.
Well, this is not I'm gonna say it. I think this is a toxic relationship, period. I don't think these two should be together.
Also, at the start of this scene, Sydney's trying to leave to go to the restaurant.
That is the other thing.
And he's like, he really wants to talk to her, right? So he was gearing up to have this conversation. He thought he was going to have it while they're on their way to the lodge together. So he's pissed at her that she's leaving to go to the lodge early to help set up. She's helping run this place.
Right.
She's like basically part owner.
I mean, he doesn't really seem mad.
No, he's upset because he wants to have this chat with her, but he's giving her an issue because she's like, yeah, I'm leaving. And the point is he wants to talk, and he does say, like, hey, let's talk before you leave. But before he gets that far, like, he's annoyed that she's going. He's like, what do you mean you're going? You're bringing your clothes with you? I thought we're driving together. And it's very like, obviously she's going early. You should be going early too.
Right.
Like, you're saying you want to marry her and you want this to be your family. Why are you not helping with the family business then? Like, you should both be there all day setting up.
Right. Yeah.
Not, like, annoyed that she's going to help her brother in the thing that she's involved with.
Yeah, I see your point there.
Yeah.
But also, time and a place. Like, she's got her foot out the door. Do you want to start having this conversation?
Right.
This is a longer, deeper conversation than they have time to have.
I feel like just his attitude going into this was reminding me of the early season Rafe, where he was just being a butt all around.
Right, yes. Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. All right, so she has to go and cuts the conversation short. Yeah. So Jacob talks to Lola with the idea of putting his degree on hold for 2 years while she finishes hers, and then they can go to Alberta, and then he can finish his degree. And yeah, she does not think this is a good idea.
She shoots him down real hard.
And I'm with Lola here. This is a new relationship. He's gonna put his degree on hold for 2 years,
right?
For a girl he just met.
Yeah, that seems kind of serious.
Yeah.
Not that it's bad that he's exploring options, and maybe this is something they could put on the back burner for a later discussion.
Right.
But no, it's not a we've been dating for 2 weeks discussion.
Right.
The only thing that makes sense here is for him to go back to school and them to both see how they're sitting after that.
Yeah.
Make efforts to visit each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? If you at some point decide you want to be more serious, then sure, look into moving options.
Right.
Look into her moving her degree.
Right.
To where his school is or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes to that. But yeah, like the whole like, well, I'm just gonna live here for 2 years and then we'll both move there. Like, it was very like automatically domestic.
Right.
So no, I don't disagree with her response. Like, that was a weird thing for him to do.
Yeah, and I think he realizes that later in the
episode. He does later, but in this moment, he's kind of heartbroken. He's feeling like she just rejected him. Like, she just broke up with him, basically.
Right.
And he's like, I guess I'll go call my professor and tell him never mind.
All right, so yeah, he leaves just kind of upset. Cal and Maggie at the outpost, they chat about Rabney's offer. She doesn't want to take it. He wonders if she thought about what she'd be giving up when she came to live here. She's like, of course I thought about that. And Cal says he thinks that she is missing her career more than she thought. She just kind of shuts the entire conversation down, and she just kind of leaves.
Yeah, she's on her way to the outpost to bring Sydney some string lights that just came in the mail.
Yes.
For the opening that's in a couple hours.
Right. Yep. So Sydney and Rob are at the lodge, plus Jane and Maggie. Rob is nervous about tonight. Sydney reveals her problems with Rafe to Maggie. She says the no marriage thing it seems like a deal breaker to him, and she isn't sure where that leaves them. She thinks that signing a piece of paper means giving up who she is in the process.
Yeah, and changing who she is.
Which I don't necessarily agree with.
I don't agree with that either.
Right.
I feel like both her and Rafe have really weird... Not that their viewpoints are wrong, but they have weird reasons behind them.
Right. It's almost like she sounds like that getting married means that she's joining the Boar Collective. And,
right.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because remember earlier she had like that problem with the couple, like, oh, why couldn't she have kept her last name
after seeing them for like 5 seconds?
Right, but like it feels like that's her point, is I don't want to change my name, I don't want to change my lifestyle. No one said you had to do any of that to get married.
Right.
Like, this is all part of this conversation that they're not having.
Right.
Now, also, I want to point out, he never proposed to her.
Yes.
Like, was he actually, like, in the headspace to want to marry her soon to begin with?
I mean, we have no idea. It could have been years before this was an actual issue.
Because she just brought up, like, I don't want to get married, and suddenly, like, they both have such strong opinions about it that they can't even talk about it.
Right, yeah. It's silly. So Frank and Edna, she's got a bandage on her head. He says he called a travel agent about going to see the Northern Lights in Alaska. He says that she deserves to be happy. She says she doesn't need any of that. She just needs to be here with him to be happy.
Yeah, but you know what, Edna? Go on the frickin' cruise.
Right.
It's what you expressed you wanted. Go do it.
Exactly.
You don't need to do the whole list of 6 things you came up with, but go do one of them.
Right. Yeah, there's no reason why you can't. And it was kind of weird for Frank to shut her down in the first place.
Right.
Like I said it back then. That was kind of out of character for him. But Cooper sends Rafe home early to go to the party. But Rafe is putting off going to the party because he's having issues with Sydney. He tells Cooper he told Sydney how he felt, but it didn't make a difference. Cooper says it's either time to give in or give up. And yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Well, really, it's time for them to actually frickin' talk about it.
Right.
Like, the details of why you both feel this way, what you both want. Because maybe they're not as far apart as they are.
Right.
Like, yeah, you're either married or not married, but there's a lot of nuance in the things that they're saying to their friends that they haven't said to each other.
Right. Yeah. Yep, they definitely need to have that conversation with themselves and not just everybody else. Okay, so Cal and Maggie. Cal is going to go help Rob set up. Maggie says to Rob, can you please tell me what's going on? All right, I'm going to point out that Cal did try to tell her what was going on.
Right.
But she shut that conversation straight down. So she's acting like he didn't even try to tell her, and he was just acting like a butt.
She's noticing something is off with him now. Like, literally, he has a bag packed. He's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
He's walking out the door, and she has no idea what's going on.
So he tells her he found a letter and shows it to her. Maggie says she isn't that same person anymore. Cal does not want to be the one to hold her back. And he's leaving to stay with Sedona for a while because she needs to figure out what she wants.
Which doesn't make any sense.
It makes 0 sense. There is no reason why the two of them, why he has to leave.
Right.
Have this conversation.
Yeah.
Talk it out.
Right.
Be adults.
It's kind of the same headspace where he was like, we can't move in together because you don't have yourself figured out.
Right.
And now he's like, we can't be together now because you don't have yourself figured out.
I mean, okay, so... Yeah, I mean, why can't you guys figure that out together? That's what a relationship is.
Right. And maybe we talk about the possibility of both of them moving to Chicago.
Exactly.
We never even passed that thought through the filter.
Right. I mean, I get the fact that he doesn't want to be a lawyer. He doesn't want to have the fast-paced lifestyle. He could go to Chicago and do something else.
Right. Like they never even tossed that thought.
Right.
It's always been, this whole thread has always been like, I'm a doctor... or I'm a girlfriend.
Yeah, it does not have to be both. I mean, it doesn't have to be one or the other. You can be a doctor and be in a relationship. You can be a lawyer and be in a relationship.
Now, this episode's the first time we're addressing the issue that there's apparently no jobs here.
Right.
So I get that, but they needed to lean more into that being the problem.
Right, yes.
Than just mentioning it here for no reason. Because I'm telling you, this region needs healthcare professionals and health and safety professionals, and they need the people.
Right.
They make the jobs. But other than that, like, it's the same thing. It feels like none of these characters ever, like, actually look at their options.
Right, yeah.
They just make these crazy, like, ultimatum ideas. That's what all of them are doing.
Yes.
Every one of them.
Yes. So, this upsets Maggie. No shit. But he says if she can promise he will never... regret giving up her career, he will stay. But of course she can't say that because, like, saying that is insane.
Yeah.
Like that she's never going to want to go back to a career.
He's not asking her to go live in a cave in Alaska and have 20 babies.
Right.
That's not the topic.
Right.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah, there's just absolutely no reason for him to have to go stay with Sedona until she can figure things out. It doesn't make any damn sense. Okay. So Maggie shows up to talk to Frank to get his advice. Frank says the path to the head to the heart is a difficult one, and thus the title of the episode.
And also a callback to apparently something he said in the pilot.
I don't remember, but I'm sure.
That's what he said. The first day you came back to the crossing, I said this to you.
I'll take his word for it.
Yeah, I'll take his word for it. I'm sure it's in there.
Yeah.
I remember he had a lot of things to say in season 1 like that.
Yeah. So she is the only one who can decide what the right path is. We get to the party. Sydney and Jane are talking. And in comes Rafe. She goes to talk to Rafe and says she feels bad about cutting their conversation short. Rafe says it's okay. She says, no, it's not. And he says they should talk things through. This is not resolved in this episode. This is the last scene involved.
Yeah, they say they'll talk tomorrow is what they say. So we don't get to tomorrow yet.
Anyway.
I mean, they shouldn't talk about it right now, right here at the party.
I mean, fair enough.
They're busy,
yes.
but...
Right. I mean, like, I get that, but if we're not going to deal with this, then
why are we doing it?
Right.
Yeah.
So Jane talks to a nervous Rob, who tells him that he needs to let people do their jobs and to trust them if he wants the place to be a success. And don't hire your former assistant manager back. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, what was her name?
I forgot.
Clover?
Clover, yes, that was
Is that her name?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad she's not here.
Yeah.
We don't need her in this restaurant.
No. Jacob joins Lola and says, hey, she was right, but they can still keep in touch. And then they dance, and that's the end of that. Maggie walks up to the party and encounters Sydney and validates her feelings. And Cal isn't there yet because he's on a beer run with Rob. Sully is at home when he's surprised to be visited by Helen, who just shows up at his door.
Now, he's at home making a cup of coffee. Was he not planning on going to this party?
I was under the impression that he was.
Because this is his place. Should he not be at the opening of the new restaurant on his campground?
Maybe he was drinking a cup of coffee and then going up there?
And then going?
Yeah, I guess so. She ends up asking if he still feels the same way. And of course, he's, he says that, okay, so his original reason for not going to Ireland was because of Edna.
Right.
Now, Edna's fine now.
Right.
There's no particular reason at this point that Sully could not just go to Ireland as he originally planned on doing.
Right.
But
or even if he's like, hey, I'm going to take a couple more days and then I'll meet you there.
Right. But yeah, Sully at this point is like, I got to stay here and take care of the crossing.
Right. It's not about Edna anymore.
Right.
He's completely backpedaled from his original very quick jump to say yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like he said yes too fast and now he's had time to think about it.
Right.
And he's like, oh, that's not my life. And he's back in the, I don't want to stand in your way of your career, so I'm going to stay here and run the campground.
I mean, Sully at this point is the most sane of all these people in all these places, but he's still kind of a bit off base here. She says they owe it to themselves, as he said, to see where this relationship can go.
Yeah, she says, isn't it time he stops being afraid and starts living his life again?
Aw, okay.
And apparently it hit because he's changed his mind. We'll learn soon.
Cal finds Maggie and tells her that he loves her, but he would never forgive himself if he was the one standing in the way of her happiness. They dance. She admits that this might not always be enough for her. Cal knew leaving New York was the right choice for him, but it doesn't mean it's right for her. He wants her to be happy, even if that means letting her go. Maggie notices Helen, and she goes and says hi. She's very surprised to see her. Sully says he's going to go to Ireland with her. And he's like, well, what about the crossing? And Sully's like, he talks about how he was always following in his father's footsteps. But the thing is, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. He could both have the crossing and go to Ireland.
Yeah, he's not moving there permanently.
Right,
It's
yes.
like a couple-month trip is what it sounds like.
Yes. So it doesn't have to be,
And suddenly, it clicks to her
right.
how stupid she's been.
For the entire season.
The entire series.
Okay,
This
fair
has
enough.
been our point.
Yes, yeah.
Now, during this conversation, the way I thought they were leading, what I thought was about to happen was I thought she had decided she's leaving. And now he's like, I'm going to Ireland and I'm giving you the crossing and it's your responsibility now.
Right.
And it was going to just break her plans if she just decided to leave.
Gotcha.
But that's not where they went.
No.
I'm glad that's not where they went, but that's for sure what I thought was happening while they were talking.
She realizes she needs to go and find Cal. Rob tells him he thinks he left. Like, she really thinks that he just ditched her. And
right, just left without even saying goodbye.
So she runs outside, like, in a panic. And she says she has an idea. that they can have both. She can open up a private practice right here and still live in the crossing and be with Cal.
Yeah, she basically says, well, it's not neurosurgery, I realized I missed. It's just helping people.
Right.
Which there's a million ways you could do that.
Yes. I mean, you could just find little old ladies and help them across the street if that's all you want.
I mean, if it's all about just the satisfaction of helping people, you could have joined the search and rescue with Cal.
Right.
And then, Cooper would have let you help.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no reason you can't be a different kind of doctor if that's an option.
Yes.
Which is what she's saying she's going to do, is open a private practice.
Well, it only took her.
Which concerns me a little bit, because I feel like then this is dangerously getting close to the entire plot of Virgin River. I don't know much about that show. I haven't watched it, but I do know the whole basis is about a small town private practice.
Gotcha.
So I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay.
But yeah, so she's like, I found the solution. I never in my life thought I can have a relationship and a career, but now I realized I can, because my dad's going to Ireland.
Hey, if she had listened to our podcast, she would have realized by now that she could have done that.
I know, they could have made this so much easier for her.
Right, yes. So all seems well when a mysterious stranger walks towards them, and I swear to God, I thought when I originally saw this that this was frickin' Andrew. And then we're going to have like a, Maggie, I've come back to win your heart.
No Andrew this season.
No.
For us, at least,
right.
On the CW.
So it turns out to be Liam, the mysterious guy from earlier. She asks, what are you doing here, Liam? And she says, well, is that any way to talk to your husband? And Cal's like, what's he talking about, Willis? And that is where the episode and the season ends.
Yeah.
And I laughed hysterically at this ending. It's like, I really want to hear the explanation for how this is a thing. Like, I want to hear Maggie explain this shit.
I'm sure I've come up with a few ideas, but I think what's most plausible is
a quickie Vegas wedding.
She doesn't realize they're married. Like, maybe they had some quick elopement wedding, right?
Okay.
And then, like, they filed for an annulment or something the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And he's here to tell her, oh, guess what? It didn't go through. I'm trying to get married, and apparently we're still married.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm expecting, is her to be like, I'm not your wife.
Right.
And he's going to be like, actually, yeah, and that's why I'm here, and I'm not here to, like, win you over. I'm just here because I'm trying to get married, and there's some paperwork issue. And
that's a pretty boring resolution.
And right, it would be a basic resolution. And then what it's going to do is it's going to, like, cause Cal to be all upset. Like, why'd you never tell me you were married for a day once?
Right.
And become a whole thing.
We're going to spend a season on that. Yeah.
Or it's more juicy and she is married and she just never told anybody and pretended to forget about it.
I'm kind of surprised that wasn't an issue before then, because, she was engaged to Andrew. Was she not?
Was she?
Oh, maybe not. Maybe yeah, you're right.
He proposed, but I don't think she ever actually said yes.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I only vaguely remember. I tried to repress all memories of Andrew from my brain, but yeah.
So before we close our thoughts on the season, the other actors that were in this episode, we had a bartender played by Hugh Ritchie. He was in one episode of American Lawmen and an episode of Rain. And we had a server played by Stephanie Clark. She was in one episode of Moonshine, 4 episodes of 22 minutes. And yeah, so what do we think of the season as a whole? I know we said already, kind of not the best.
I mean, I can count, as I said, there's only been really 2 great episodes this season. The one where he resolves his issues with his dad, and like the last episode, the penultimate episode. And those episodes reminded me what this series is actually capable of being when it's firing on all cylinders. I think there was just a lot of treading water this season.
Yeah,
there was a lot of they were seeding little breadcrumbs for where they were going to go with Edna, but they weren't doing a very good job with that.
They didn't do a good job of that. I wish they'd done more, and I've talked extensively about that.
Yeah, we beaten the dead horse in that one.
But I didn't love the way they got where they were going with her. I'm okay where it ended.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm okay with her having a big health scare. I'm definitely okay with her being okay.
Yes.
But the way we got there bothered me.
Yes, and the whole conflict with Cal and Maggie was just silly. It just, we beat that dead horse as well. It did not need to be one or the other. You can have both a relationship and be a career professional as well. I just, the whole thing was just silly. The way it was presented was silly.
Right.
Like, if you're in a relationship, you should be able to have these conversations and work things out.
Wasn't he a lawyer and having a career while he was married to...
Yes.
What was his wife's name? Lynn?
Yes.
Like, right? Didn't he do that already?
Yes. So, it was just kind of that... The whole back half of the season with Cal was just really silly. Like, at the beginning of the season, for the first 5 episodes, I'm like, you know what? This is probably the most functional relationship on the show. And then it went straight up off the rails. Like, it turned into Rafe and Sydney towards the back half. And and Rafe and Sydney.
Speaking of Rafe and Sydney.
Awful couple. Just terrible.
Yeah, we didn't really ever fix them, did we?
No.
We started the season where they're together. They were happy for 5 seconds.
Yes.
And then he just got all crazy about work.
Yeah.
And their relationship spiraled. And then they fixed it, and now we're automatically just spiraling about marriage. There was never an in-between.
Yeah, there was like one episode where they seemed happy together.
Like, they never really have dated.
Yes. Yeah.
We went from we're living together as friends with benefits to we're upset about if we're going to get married or not.
Right, basically.
And just this really weird argument in the middle of them, as opposed to any length of healthy relationship.
Right. This is the most dysfunctional relationship that, maybe I wouldn't say that I've ever seen, but it's definitely the worst on the show, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, if we're going to have them stay together, which I don't even see why they would at this point, we need to, present them as a happy couple next season.
Right.
And yeah, I'm thinking they're just gonna the season premiere. They're just gonna break up because they one wants to get married and the other doesn't. And if that's the case, go just do it. Rip off the Band-Aid, be done with it. And I don't want to deal with this relationship ever again.
What else we got going on? We've got Sully.
Yeah.
He met Helen.
Yeah.
I like Helen. I think she was a fine addition to
the
cast.
I think all in all, Sully had the most coherent story arc throughout the season.
Yeah.
Other than maybe Rob. Rob had a pretty solid arc.
Right.
Which is interesting because,
So Sully's off to Ireland.
Yep.
Does that mean he's going to have limited appearance in the next season? Or are we just going to skip forward till he's back?
I mean, we kind of have to deal with that cliffhanger.
We have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But we could deal with that in 5 minutes, and now suddenly it's the next year, and he's back, and Helen lives here, or they broke up and we never see her again.
I mean, it would be pretty expensive, but they could shoot some scenes in Ireland.
They could.
And have him be
gone
for 3 months.
We could have him be in, phone calls, like we did with all of the Boston people.
Yeah.
Speaking of Boston people, we never saw Phoebe this season.
Weird. We saw Walter twice.
We saw Walter twice. No Phoebe.
Right. Yeah.
No Dr. Hollis. He hasn't come back.
Right.
Sad about that one. But it was weird not to have at least a phone call with Phoebe once during the season.
Yeah. I mean, she basically harassed Maggie for the first couple.
They wrote her off of the series, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note, Finn.
Yeah, in
the CW, our U.S. viewing experience, we did not see him once this season. Not at all.
Yes.
We know of one episode for sure that he was in the original Canadian cuts, but it didn't make it to our screens.
What is kind of interesting about that is that the big part of Rob's character arc for the first couple of seasons was balancing out having a relationship with his son while running a business and being a single dad.
And now we kind of wrote him off. He's with his grandma doing camp.
Right.
Which we can do perpetually if every season is summer.
Right, yeah.
And is it because the actor got too old?
I mean, at this point, if you have him show up next season, he's going to look like he's a teenager.
He's going to look like he's 30.
Right, yeah.
Do we recast at that point because we haven't seen him in a whole season? We forgot what he looks like?
I mean, you could, I suppose. It sucks.
I just feel like giving him one phone call, and then we didn't even get it in the U.S., but just giving him one phone call, it feels like they did the same thing to him that they did to Jackson.
Yes.
In season 2, Jackson got a phone call. Mm-hmm. Jackson and Tom, both of their characters, got a phone call and then disappear. We never hear from them again.
Right.
where are they for the last 2 seasons? They were written out of the show.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think in T. Thomason's case, it's because he moved.
Right, but...
Yeah.
But, I mean, we don't know. Did he move because he's not in the show anymore? Or is he not in the show anymore because he moved?
Right.
We don't know, like behind the scenes. But the way they handled it in canon, like, we brought him up once this season.
We did.
Talking about how Maggie did some illegal surgery on him since she wasn't certified.
We didn't. I don't even think we brought him up by name. Just the incident in question.
His name was mentioned.
It was? Okay.
Yeah, I forget whoever Maggie was talking to in that scene brought up, what about Jack when you operated on Jackson?
Gotcha. Okay.
And she's like, no, that wasn't real surgery. That was just MacGyver surgery. And I just think it's weird for them to just get rid of characters.
Yeah.
Without any explanation.
Well, I think maybe part of the reason why they did it is because of some of the complaints that we had, in that perhaps they just had too many characters that they were trying to focus on.
I mean, yeah, they're bringing in new characters, so they've cycled out some of the other ones. Sure. I mean, we got rid of Connie to make room for Cooper. Mm-hmm. But we at least explained where Connie is. Right. It would have been nice to give her a guest shot in one episode.
Right.
I mean, Rafe supposedly like her, they're like siblings.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if they had a phone call or a visit.
Right.
But we just completely wrote her out. But we explained it at least.
Right.
We know where she is and why she's there.
Well, Ben's at camp.
Yeah, but still, like, I feel unsatisfied with that.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, that's such a big part of Rob's character. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, well, my son's just gone. I mentioned him like twice all season, and that's it.
Right. Yeah.
So is he going to be back next season is what I'm getting at. Like, are we just writing him off and going to pretend he doesn't exist? Like, you have a kid, a young child.
Yeah, I think you'd have to bring him back in some capacity. It's kind of weird if he's just suddenly gone from the series. Like, Rob's kid just suddenly gone. Like,
yeah.
You can't just keep saying, oh, he's at camp, or he's at his grandmother's, or, I don't know. But, I mean, like, after not seeing him for a whole year, he's going to look pretty old when he does come back.
Right. If they keep,
right.
If they keep Zayd Maloney in the role.
Right.
Which, who knows? Maybe, I haven't looked into this. Maybe he's doing something.
Maybe.
I don't know. I haven't looked at the actor, but, maybe he was
unavailable.
Preoccupied. Yeah. I mean, that's possible.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then we have Lola, our sweet little Lola, who I hated for the first couple of seasons, and I liked her this year.
Yeah, they
although she's a different character this year.
Yeah, no, they totally retconned her character.
Yeah, she's not the same at all.
It makes it seem like she's way younger all of a sudden than Maggie and Sydney.
Right.
Which was not the case. They were pretty comparable in ages in past seasons.
Right.
So yeah, they completely retconned her character.
Yeah, the only times I hated her this season is when she brought up the accident.
Right.
The few times she brings it up.
Right.
Because that's the only topic she knows how to talk about.
Right.
But I was wrong. We never got back to the lady from season 2 with the brown car.
We still could.
We still could, but we didn't do it this season. I really thought that's where that was going, was pictures of that car in the photo album.
Right.
I mean, is it possible that's a deleted scene?
I mean, possibly.
Could they have cut out the punchline to that entire plot?
That would be funny. But, all right, so...
Speaking of deleted scenes...
Okay.
Sorry, there was a picture, a press photo from this episode, at the party of Lola talking up Cooper.
Interesting.
Now, we didn't even get to see Cooper at the party.
Right.
But there was, I think 2 photos of them looking pretty chatty.
Okay.
So there was some scene between them that was cut.
Mm.
We cut Cooper out of the party. He's not good enough to be here, I guess. So I'm wondering, is that something they want to lean into? Or was that just a random conversation that got cut?
I don't see that couple, but...
Like, I want to know what were they talking about. And I guess I'll be able to next month when these episodes hit Netflix.
Right.
But... What was this conversation that was cut? What are we chatting about? Is it just like, hey, did you try the meatballs? Or was there some reason for them to interact? Because I can't see why they would have one. Like, those characters have never crossed in any way.
Right. So, if we are never going to return to the whole figuring out who actually ran Lola over.
Yeah.
If we're never going to do that, then I would prefer her to just stop talking about it. Hi, nice to meet you. Did I ever tell you about the time that somebody ran me over and blah blah blah
and
blah?
And it changed my whole life because I had to learn how to walk again.
I was just
when
saying,
I was 7.
Yeah, I was just saying hi. I didn't need all that.
But other than that, I really like the new Lola.
Right.
She's sweet. I do wish her happiness. I no longer wish Andrew on her.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, kind of a weaker season than the past couple. I mean, there's plenty of... So, even in a bad... I wouldn't say this is a bad season. It was a mediocre season. But even in a mediocre season, there was still, like, little enjoyable moments here and there. There was some good episodes.
Yeah.
There's like, the little plot lines. I kind of dig that Sullivan's Crossing occasionally does this whole thing where it makes a whole plot line out of whether Edna is going to get potatoes or not.
Yeah, how many times did we send Frank to the store this season? That was his main plot point.
Right.
All season was going to the grocery store.
Sullivan's Crossing gives me these things that I can just make fun of, and I do appreciate the show for that.
Yeah.
So these little things that I can laugh at.
The other thread that's still hanging is Cal's dad is still hanging in there.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, they didn't kill him
They
this
didn't
season.
kill him, so we get to do that next season, maybe.
Oh, yay. Oh, and that's the other thing. The whole Glenn part of the story, complete waste of time. They never did anything with it.
Right.
They resolved it weirdly and kind of changed Glenn into this, good guy at the 11th hour. It was just weird.
It was weird.
Like, they could have done something with it.
Yeah, we didn't need Glenn back.
Right.
He was in like 4 or 5 episodes.
Right, yeah.
Just to get him sick so Maggie can be in the hospital.
Right, yeah.
We didn't need that.
No.
We could have kept one of our other side characters instead of that.
Right, yeah. All right, I think that's all I have to say. Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, I mean, we've obviously talked about everything at some point.
Right.
I'm just trying to think, where is season 4 going? I'm not really sure. We obviously have a lot of threads that are still open.
Right.
But we don't have any real direction on, like, hey, here's what the next season might be about.
I mean, that's something that Skylar Anderson said, that, like, most shows, they have, like, like a couple of solid, clear plot lines running through. Sullivan's Crossing doesn't really have that. Sullivan's Crossing kind of neutered and killed their, running stories. Like, like, right away, we killed the whole Maggie's gonna be a mother thing.
Right.
And, that could have been a whole thing in itself. Like, Maggie adjusting to motherhood. Cal adjusting to be a father. But nope, we're not interested in those
we could still give them a child at some point in the future.
Right. I didn't necessarily love the fact that they got Maggie pregnant with Andrew's child, but they did it.
It gives us a reason that Andrew doesn't need to be involved anymore.
Fair enough.
So I'm happy for that.
Okay.
If we never see Andrew again, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Nothing against
Alan Halko.
Alan Halko.
Yes.
But I do not need to ever see Andrew again.
Right.
So if he was like, yeah, I'm the dad, we'd keep seeing him.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
So.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're going to set things up like that, you kind of have to follow through. That's kind of Sullivan's Crossing's kind of weak point.
Is they don't.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, I still love the series. It's still an enjoyable watch. It's just not as good as it could be.
Yeah, we can set up a fire and then never deal with it.
Right.
Other than Sully coughed once.
Right. Yep.
And we addressed that, a doctor cleared him at some point.
Yes. All right. I think that's a good place to leave it. It's been a fun season, even though it has been slightly mediocre. We're looking forward to season 4 and talking with all you guys about that. We'd like to hear from you. What did you think of this podcast? What did you think of this episode? What did you think of this season? Stacie can be reached at.
I can be reached on Twitter, X, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at TV and Coupon Talk.
If you like this video and want to support the channel, the number of ways to do so. You can follow me on Twitter at Core Productions. You can join the Core Productions Facebook page. You can buy something from the Core Productions store on Zazzle. You can buy me a copy. You can join the Core Productions membership for 99 cents a month. And, of course, you can like, share, and comment on this video as well as subscribing to the channel. This is Dave and Stacie from Core Productions, signing off.